So what's your story? Can you imagine the stories that are going to be told in heaven? Can you imagine just the saints that we've celebrated this week, tonight on a Friday night, standing around a high top table at a party, just going around and telling their stories? They're asking, hey, Louis de Montfort, what's your story? Well, I wrote this book that really nobody paid attention to during my lifetime. But as you can see, the church on earth right now, the whole world is consecrating their hearts to Jesus through Mary. Dang, that's pretty cool. Yeah, hey, Catherine, what did you do? She's like, actually, I hate to be awkward, but they call me doctor now. Dr. Catherine. Well, when I was about 30 years old, I convinced the Pope to man up and go back to Rome and to be the Pope that he was called to be. And I kind of became spiritual advisor and helped to guide the church throughout the world as a laywoman. Pretty impressive. They're like, what about you, Pius? Pius is like, well, the church was going through a rough patch and I was kind of the leader that the church needed at the time. And, I kind of got things back on track. Had a few liturgical books updated, and just so happens they're the same liturgical books that people are using, the entire church throughout the world is using to worship today, worship Jesus. Kind of a big deal. Meanwhile, Joseph is silently sitting at the end of the table, listening to all the stories, eating bacon after bacon, because he never got to eat some on earth. And then Father Chase, what did you do? Yes, I'm there. Yes, I'm at the table and I have a story to tell. And I was like, yeah, during the coronavirus, I made these 5-minute videos every day and kind of help people stay on track or whatever. Like, whoa, it's pretty cool. Back to Joseph. Joseph, the foster father of Jesus Christ, the husband of the Blessed Virgin Mary, for the first time breaks silence, and we have his words. Joseph, what'd you do? Joseph puts down his plate of bacon grease running down his immaculate beard, making it more immaculate. He smiles with bacon bits in his teeth, and he says, I changed God's diapers. Can you imagine the work that Joseph did? He's the guy at the party that one-ups everybody. Nobody else has a story like Joseph. Today we celebrate Joseph under his title, Joseph the Worker, because of the dignity of his work. Joseph, when we look at his life, we can actually see the way that he worked was directly suited to building up the kingdom of God on earth. It was part of God's plan of salvation to have Joseph as a man who protected God's son, as a man who protected the Blessed Virgin Mary, the mother of God. He was the one who, by his work, gave them a roof over their head. He's the one who fed them. He was the one who clothed them. He was the one who took care of them so that they could do their work, so that Jesus could bring about salvation on earth. We see how dignified his work was. You ever notice that when we tell stories, and as we've been telling these stories, we've been talking about what people do? Well, it's not that what we do gives us dignity. We don't have to do something to earn our dignity or our worth. But it's the fact that God gave us inherent dignity as humanity, that he allows us to work like he works, to share in his work of salvation. We continue to build God's kingdom on earth. He told our first parents, Adam and Eve, he told them before the fall, by the way, he told them before the fall that they would subdue the earth, that they would share in his mission of subduing the earth. And so that's why everything that we do can be consecrated to God and can give dignity to our lives. That's why we have stories to tell. We're supposed to live out our faith, the inherent faith that we have. We're supposed to live that out through the works that we do. That's how God is going to be known and seen. That's how his church is going to be witnessed throughout the world. Y'all, I know that you're entering into the end of the semester. I know that sometimes these final papers and even your final exams feel burdensome. They don't feel like you're doing God's work. Sometimes you're like, I don't even know if I'll ever even use this stuff in the future. It seems worthless. Well, let's change the perspective. Let's change the attitude. Maybe the Lord has entrusted those things to you right now so that you will be prepared for something in the future. Just like all the saints we talked about this week, they were building themselves as young people, young virtuous people, and taking seriously the work that God had entrusted to them so that they would be prepared for something that they never expected in their life. Again, Joseph would have never foreseen the work that God would have entrusted to him. Maybe through your intellectual labors in the next few weeks and throughout our entire life, maybe the work of your hands this summer, the things that you will do, it might seem pointless, but maybe the Lord is building you up in certain virtues or building your intellectual, your moral capacity to be able to be good mothers and fathers, to put roofs over people's heads, to clothe people, right? And maybe not just your family, maybe other people, maybe those who are on the streets, maybe to show God's charity to the entire world. Y'all, he's working through us. He's going to continue working through us. But by working through us, he's going to put us to work. Y'all, today, if we want to be saints, if we want to say yes to God, let's take a yes to work. We start working today for God's kingdom, and we never stop.